Welcome back, everyone. UFC 305 main event was just announced. Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya for the middleweight championship. Honestly, a good matchup. We're going to talk about this today. We're going to talk about the potential card of the 305 main card, right? And we're going to talk about the middleweight picture. Okay, let's start off with this right here. Now, a lot of people are mad at this. A lot of people are happy with this. People are saying it's undeserved for Israel to get another rematch right after the loss to Sean Strickland. He took a little break, and now he's back into the title picture, right back in the title picture. No contender fights, just right back in. Honestly, I'm not mad with it for two reasons. One, it's a great story, right? He has beef with Dricus. We've seen the beef. We've seen the whole Africa thing with them too. It's entertaining. It's very entertaining. Second, the middleweight picture is it's okay right now, and we'll go over why it's okay ever since Hamza pulled out. But honestly, I'm happy with this. This is a good story for them, and it's going to be an entertaining fight. I mean, the style is going to be good. We'll see how DDP handles Izzy's style. We'll see how Izzy handles DDP's style. It's going to be an interesting fight in Australia. Very good main event. Now, we also want to talk about the rest of the main card. Now, we saw, I think in the last video we mentioned this. We saw the last fight. They were leaked on the Dana White 303 sort of video he made on Instagram, and all the names on the main card are right over here. And someone posted them right here on Twitter. So Adesanya, of course, against DDP, Sogedong, JDM, Ursek, and Jakar Close. You can all see their names right over here. Now, this is exciting for a lot of reasons, right? We have a very good card. It looks to be very stacked. Song Yadong, we kind of already know, or I made a prediction last video, but I think it's kind of becoming more relevant now, that he's going against Kai Asakura, who was recently signed to the UFC, Japanese MMA fighter. Check out my last video to know what's happening with the UFC and their whole master plan to enter the Japanese market for that one. JDM, people are, of course, are saying he's going to go against Shavkat Rakhmonov, but that's kind of looking a little unlikely because JDM, some people are saying he's injured. Some people are saying Rakhmonov is not fighting now. So that one's still kind of up in the air. Steve Ursik, I think it's pretty much all but confirmed that he's fighting Kai Kara France, which is a good matchup for Steve Ursik, I think. And Jakar Close, I believe people are saying he's fighting Dan Hooker, which is also a good matchup. I mean, this card looks sick. This card looks very entertaining. Very good fights, so I'm excited. Now, let's talk about the middleweight title picture. So, if you guys remember, when the Hamza-Rob Whittaker fight was still on, Sean Strickland just came off his win against Paulo Costa. The title picture was in all kinds of confusions, right? Because we expected the Izzy fight. We expected all of this. We expected this fight, which meant that Sean Strickland would have to either be waiting for this fight to happen, and then the winner of this fight would have to fight Rob Whittaker or Hamza, depending on who wins that. Because if you guys remember, at the beginning of the announcement of the Saudi Arabia fight, the Rob Whittaker and Hamza, they did say that's a number one contender spot. That's a number one contender fight, which meant that Sean Strickland winning off of Paulo Costa fight would have had to wait a long time. But now, Hamza is out that fight. Now we have Whittaker against Aliskerov, which, in my opinion, is not a number one contender shot. I mean, I'm sorry. If Whittaker wins, it's like an okay win. It's an okay win for Whittaker's legacy, but nothing too much. Whittaker has such a good legacy already, right? You know, beating Aliskerov doesn't really add much as like a Hamza. If Whittaker beats Hamza, it's a much different picture, right? People are saying he might be in for the title, right? But now it's against Aliskerov, so it's much different. And if Aliskerov wins, we no one on earth can justify a title shot. There's just no way. Hell no. But you never know with the Dagestans in the UFC. You never know. I wouldn't be surprised, but I just don't think it's going to happen. So that would basically mean that the winner of this fight here would be facing Sean Strickland probably at the beginning of next year. Because none of these two guys here are really active champions. I mean, if Izzy wins, he is active, and Izzy will be willing to fight Sean Strickland. I think he desperately wants that rematch. I think he knows what he did wrong. I think he knows how to enter that fight. So he's definitely going to be calling for it. Even if he wins this fight, I expect him to call out Sean Strickland during the post-fight interview. So I think Sean Strickland's looking good right now. Because if Hamza was still facing Whitaker, I feel like if he won, then Izzy, you never know who he calls out if he wins, right? He might call out Hamza, he might call out Sean. You never know. And then that would leave Sean waiting for a year and a half. But now Hamza pulled out. Sean's right back in the mix. If Dricus wins, he probably wants to fight Sean, but we'll see. And if Izzy wins, he definitely wants to fight Sean. And if they don't, if we look at the rankings here for middleweight right over here, there isn't much else to fight. There isn't much there isn't like other contenders, right? Because the picture is basically Izzy and Dricus are fighting, so number 2 against the champion. Strickland is waiting now, off of beating number 8 now, Paulo Costa. And everybody else, I mean, Rob Whitaker is here, but let's be real here, guys. I'm going to be very real here. If Rob Whitaker wins against Liskarov, can you justify him a title shot? Probably. But the problem is, for good old Bobby Knuckles, is that if DDP wins, does anyone really want to see a rematch there? Maybe DDP wants it because maybe he thinks it's an easy fight like the first one. And if Izzy wins, no way in hell the UFC is making Adesanya Rob Whitaker 3. There's no way, not in 2024, not in 2025. Hell no, leave that in the past. No fans want to see it. Izzy probably doesn't want to see it. Rob probably does want to see it because he wants to fight for the title, obviously. But nobody wants to see that. So Sean Strickland's looking good, and then everyone else in the rankings here, Imavov is probably gonna fight somebody like Brendan Allen. Probably, I think that's a good number 1 contender fight, right? I mean, that's a crazy fight actually. Imavov against Brendan Allen, make that in like France, right? Because I think Sean Strickland can wait. He can wait until the Izzy DDP fight. They both recover, and then he can face the winner, right? I think that's a good idea. In terms of Hamza, I don't know what's happening with him. People were like spreading like he has like a big disease and stuff. Apparently, it went from like he has like some big lifelong disease that he's been dealing with to he simply has food poisoning. So I mean that kind of went everywhere. I don't know like who made that up and who even like thought of that, but yeah, apparently he just has food poisoning. He's coming right back in. There is no retirement. He's coming right back into the mix right after he recovers this. And honestly, I don't know who he faces. I don't even know who he faces, to be honest, because I mean, Paulo Costa was saying he wants to fight Hamza, but Paulo Costa, in my opinion, can't keep getting away with this. Like, oh, give me this guy, I swear I'll rip his head off. Like, he's done it to us like twice now. Like, he's done it with Rob Whitaker. He's done it with Sean Strickland. Do not give Paulo Costa any more like contenders like Chimaev. Give him like a Dilidze or something. I think Paulo Costa's gonna like rip off Dilidze's head or something. Obviously joking, guys. Obviously joking, but I'm pretty sure he could like fry him against the cage. So let's be real here. Let's be honest. Paulo Costa has good takedown defense. There's no way Dilidze's touching him. So I think Paulo Costa needs to like stop messing around with the fighters up here or like Hamza. Start messing with these guys. Start picking up these guys off like Jack and Dilidze, even like a Chris Curtis, right? Like start picking off these guys. Because the middleweight division right now looks pretty stacked. It has some killers in there. But right now, the title picture is looking really good. So, guys, big fight there. Oh, by the way, this is going to be a crazy press conference. DDP and Adesanya are going to be a crazy press conference to watch. I'm excited. You guys are probably excited as well. Going to be a great fight. Along with this, some big names on the main card. Very excited. Song Yadong against Kaya Sakura. Mark my words. Watch my last video if you're confused about why Kaya Sakura or why Song Yadong is on the co-main event. Like, watch my last video, you'll understand everything there. Some big names on there. And tomorrow I'll come out with Saudi Arabia card predictions. I'll do some predictions on this card. It looks like an okay card. I mean, there's some okay fights here, right? There's some like these 2 fights are good. Johnny Walker's coming back. That's cool. But yeah, like and subscribe. Comment which fight, by the way, you're like most interested in. I feel like all the fights I named are kind of bangers. Just kind of list them off. Like, which fight are you most interested in? And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.